So we've done solving with variables on both sides, and now we're going to add combining like terms on top of that. So we're going to combine like terms and solve variables on both sides. So make sure you put your title on your notes. The first thing we're going to do is just a review from the last time, just with variables on both sides. So I'm going to grab a color, and let's go ahead and solve this. So remember, if you have letters on both sides, we need to get them together. It does not matter which way you move them. I'm going to move this minus 2x over here. They're on opposite sides, so you do the opposite. The opposite of subtracting 2x is to add 2x. And 4x plus 2x is 6x. I just bring everything else down. Okay, the minus 15 comes down, the 9 comes down, and this went away. And then from there, easy peasy, right? We're just going to solve. So the opposite of subtracting 15 is to add 15. It's away. And 9 plus 15 is 24. You can use your calculator if you needed to do that. 9 plus 15 is 24. Then side by side means multiply. So the opposite of multiplying is to divide. And in your head or in the calculator, 24 divided by 6 is 4. Perfect. Okay? So that's what we did last class. We're going to add some things to that now. So now we're going to have multiple things on the sides. Okay? So I'm going to draw my line here. And for today, here you're going to be your steps, if you're a steps person. So this says steps, if you can believe it. The first thing is I want you to combine like terms. Okay, combine like terms, which means look at this side. Are any of these things alike? Like, well, yeah, there's like an A there and an A there, and you are correct. Those things are like terms, so we are going to combine them. Okay? And if I'm going fast for you, I want you to pause, write down what you need to write down, and then come back to me, okay? So let's add those. If there is no number with the A, remember that's a 1, right? So 1A plus 5A, oh, well, that's 6A. And then minus 3. And then bring down my equals. The little things matter, guys, so make sure you're writing everything down. Make sure you bring down your equal sign, all that great stuff. So let's look at this other side. Here I have an A, but there's no other A's to combine it with, right? But here I have just a number, 2, and then here I have minus 12, just a number as well. We call those constants. Constants are just numbers by themselves. So I can bring this 4A down if I want to. I can't combine that with anything, but I can definitely combine this. So in your head or in your calculator, you can do 2 minus 12, and I'm just going to show you, if I do it here, 2 minus 12, I get a negative 10. So since it's negative, you're going to put minus 10. Since it's negative, you put minus. And then once you do that, now it's the same as the last assignment. So your second step is to get your variables, or your letters, depending on what you want to write, to the same side. So you can move them to the left or to the right. It does not matter. So you can move the 6A or the 4A. I'm going to move the 4A. So the opposite of positive 4A is negative 4A. And 6A minus 4A is 2A. Minus 3 is negative 10. And then from there, the third and last thing we do, you've been doing forever, is just solve it. Right? So we take rid of this guy first. The opposite of subtracting 3 is to add 3. In your calculator, and I'll actually just do it with you because I'm going to do the division. Negative 10 plus 3 is negative 7. Perfect. And then I divide by 2, right? When I divide that by 2 in my calculator, it gives me negative 3.5. If you want to give me that answer, that's fine. Or you could math, enter it, and it would give me negative 7 over 2. So both of those are fine. A equals negative 3.5. Or you could even write negative 7 over 2. As long as you are not rounding, that's okay. Let's practice that a little bit more, and then I'll throw some other kind of weird stuff at you real quick. So pause and write this down. And then let's go ahead and solve this, right? Step 1 is to combine anything that looks alike. So on this side, I have 5p plus 3p. And sometimes, guys, it might be multiple things. It could be 3 or 4 things you're adding together. So 5p plus 3p, well, that is 8p minus 10 equals, what can I combine over here? Oh, well, I also have the letter p. So 5p minus p is 4p plus 12, because I can't combine that with anything else. And then, guys, as soon as you combine it, it's just the easy stuff again. Super simple, okay? So I'm going to get my letters together. I'm going to bring this over here. The opposite of a positive 4p is a negative 4p. And 8p minus 4p is positive 4. You can use your calculator if you have to, but you should know 8 minus 4 is 4, guys. And then 12. Perfect. So then we add our 10. Just basically solving. And the 4p comes down. 4p equals 22. And I know when you're getting kind of lazy, it's easier to like not write every step. But the more you write it and bring everything down, the easier and clearer your work becomes. We divide by 4. So then in your calculator, 22 divided by 4. That's not 22. That's a problem. 2 divided by 4 is 5.5. Beautiful. Or if you wanted to, you could math, enter that bad boy. 11 over 2. So P equals 5.5. That should be better 5. Or 11 over 2. You don't always have to give me both. You can choose, but I'm just telling you both of those are perfectly fine answers. Okay? Love it. Okay? What if I have a fraction? Now, y'all are going to get really fussy with this, but don't worry about it. Write it down. So, fractions are not fun. I get it, but we have talked about already how to put fractions in the calculator, so I don't want you to freak out about them. So, same thing. The same steps apply. First step is I want to combine like terms. So, I'll combine what is 9 minus 6. Okay? So, that is 9 minus 6 is 3. And then plus 2/3 x. And some of you might say, Miss Molina, I put the 2/3 x first. Well, that's fine. I don't care. Perfect. Can I combine any of this stuff? No. So I'm just going to rewrite it. 15 minus 1/3 x. Perfect. So step 2 is I need to get my variables to the same side. So I need to bring like this guy over here. The opposite of subtracting 1/3 x is to add 1/3 x. Perfect. So I'm just going to bring this 3 down. 2/3 plus 1/3. Now that's actually not that hard. You could do that in your head for some of you. But if you are scared of fractions, I'll show you in the calculator. So remember fraction. Alpha y equals, enter. And I have 2/3. So 2, bring it down, and then 3 over. Plus, and then alpha y equals, enter, 1/3. So 1, go down, 3 is just 1. And that makes sense because they have the same denominator, right? 3. So 2/3 plus 1/3 is 3/3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So we got a 1 right there. So plus 1x equals, and then this 15 comes down. Perfect. So don't let fractions freak you out. And then you just solve it. Opposite of positive 3 is a negative 3. I have 1x here equals 15 minus 3 is 12. You could divide by 1 for sure, but any number divided by 1 is just going to be the same number, so 12 it is. Okay? So do not let fractions freak you out. And I'm not going to do some examples of these, but you can get some no solutions or some all real numbers as well, so don't forget about those. So we're going to do 2 last things real quick. We're going to do a perimeter problem. So I want you to kind of copy this down real quick. We'll do this a little more later as well, but I just want to show you at least one. Here it says the perimeter of the below shape is 48 yards. That's important. What is the length of each side? Okay? So perimeter, think, what does perimeter mean? And hopefully you're like, oh, perimeter means I have to add up all the sides, right? Perimeter means going around like this whole thing. That's a beautiful triangle, guys. I did great on that one. So I'm going to add all those up. Well, I can't add up numbers, but I can combine my like terms, right? This is alike. This is alike, and this is alike. So let's combine them. What is 5 plus 4 is 9, and 9 plus 1 is 10. So this is 10 h's. Okay, I just combine my like terms. And then I can combine these guys. What's 2 plus 20 is 22, and 22 minus 4 is 18. Now, let's say you're like, Miss Molina, I'm not really great at math. Well, you can just put it all at the same time. You could do 2 plus 20 minus 4. 2 plus 20 minus 4 in your calculator all at once, and we get 18. Positive 18, so I put plus 18. So I added all this up. But up here, it told me the perimeter is 48. So I'm going to make that equal 48. Okay, so if I were writing steps, I might put 1. Find perimeter by combining like terms. Something like that, right? 2. And for 2, I might put make equal to the perimeter, or whatever you want to do. Whatever notes you, I did not spell all the letters in make, to solve it. Okay, so from here, we're just going to solve. So the opposite of adding 18 is to subtract 18. This is from 7th grade, guys. You got this. 48 minus 18 in your head or in the calculator is 30. We divide by 10. 30 divided by 10 means h equals 3. Okay? Now, a lot of kids will stop there. Like, yes, I did it. But it didn't ask for h. It said the length of each side. So let me explain that real quick. And if I'm losing you at this process, I need you to call me over so I can help you, okay? H is 3. So let me plug this all the way here. So 5, but instead of h, you told me h was 3 plus 2. Right? And then here, h. Instead of h, I put 3 plus 20. And instead of h, I plug here, I have 4, and then 3 minus 4. So instead of h, I put this 3 where all the h's were. Okay? It's called a substitution, if that sounds familiar. So then we just do that. 5 times 3 is 15, and 15 plus 2 is 17. So this side length is 17. This one's super easy. 3 plus 20 is 23. So this side length is 23. 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 minus 4 is 8. This side length is 8. Okay? So that's a perimeter problem. That is a lot. I'm not saying that's super easy. We'll practice it a little bit, and then we'll get better at it later. Okay? So that's it. Combining like terms, variables on both sides, and then a perimeter problem to help you out. If you have questions, let me know.